Yes. So this is the point where we do the visiting Rotarians and guests, but we also have Sydney Sutcliffe, our assistant governor, here, and I don't want to do this in the normal way. I want to make her stand up and do this big introduction and do it in a different way because I figure it's more fun to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
It's not my fault, you said last night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I have a script.
I would prefer if you did it without the script.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. I mean, I know you're president, but this is the governor.
The governor said to do it without the note.
Yeah, I know, but I still can't do it. I botched it up so bad yesterday at my meeting. It was pathetic. Okay, here we go. 2.5 years ago, when Barb Spangler learned that she would be district governor in 2018-2019, she took a deep breath and made Rotary District 5130 a top priority in her life. After many informal club visits and participation in a number of great club projects, Barb has come to love our district and describes the DG experience as the best job. It's a brilliant opportunity to be with and work with Rotarians, good people at their very best. In 2010, she retired from GE Healthcare as a clinical research manager in interventional cardiology and promptly joined the Valley of the Moon Rotary Club in Santa Rosa. She has been a club president, assistant governor, district training assembly chair, and a Zone Institute Emerging Rotary Leader Program participant. Barb was born and raised in Boston and holds undergraduate and graduate degrees in the sciences and business from schools in the Boston area. Her career in healthcare technology, research, and development gave her many opportunities to travel, live abroad, and experience the world's economic and cultural diversity. She has been to all 7 continents and recommends Boston for education, New York for fun, Paris for food, Africa and the Galapagos for nature and wildlife, Antarctica for beauty, and District 5130 for Rotary service and friendship. That's pretty cool, huh? When not at Rotary, Barb lives in Santa Rosa with her husband Jim, also a Rotarian, and their dog Buddy, affectionately known as Puppy Silla. So please welcome District Governor Barb Spangler.
So, I kind of feel like the introduction thing is really weird, because I almost want to have you do it again, because now everybody knows, no? You don't want to do it again?
No.
You know, you're not a team player today. We'll just let Barb do it then. That's fine.
I'm
Sure, Barb!
Barb Spangler!
Good morning. My first thing is I'm gonna buy a cupcake. Which one's the best one, Finn?
Hopefully both.
Thank you. Thanks for cooking it.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's great to be with you again. This is a fun club. This is great. I love this breakfast morning energy. So we're going to spend a little bit of time. We're going to do a couple of things together. And the first thing I want to talk about is I want to share with you a little bit about our theme this year, Being Inspiration. So every year the Rotary International president for the entire globe gets to choose the theme for the year. So Barry Rassin, who's this year's president, is from the Bahamas. He's from the Rotary Club of East Nassau in the Bahamas. And so he's the one that came up with the theme of Be the Inspiration, which I love that. I really like that. You know, you never know when you're governor in training kind of thing. It takes a long time, and you go through governors in front of you, and everybody gets the theme, and you go, oh boy, glad I don't have to try to work with that. I wonder what it's going to be the year I'm governor. But this one I love. This is wonderful. Be the Inspiration. And when Barry announced this theme to all the governors in the world, so every year, the last bit of training that you get to be governor, they bring all 535 district governors from around the world come to San Diego in January for a week. And we work together, we learn the theme, and it is an incredible experience to be with governors, with your peers from around the world. So we don't share the same countries necessarily, or our cultures, or backgrounds, or food, or anything. But what happens is we have big general sessions, and then we have breakout sessions in rooms. And you can go into a room and be assigned to a session and sit down at a table with about maybe 15 or 16 people in it. And then of those 15 or 16 people, there will be individuals from maybe 11 or 12 different countries. Right? So you'll have 12 countries represented in the room. And we can all sit down and have a conversation about membership, about the four-way test, about the foundation. And it's a pretty incredible experience to be able to share that with that many people you've never met before and just sit down and talk. It was really spectacular. So Barry, when he was announcing the theme, he was on this big stage. The entire thing behind him was video, and there was waves lapping on the shoreline at sunset. So it was just this really lovely thing. And he was standing up there, and he said, "Where I come from in the Bahamas, nothing is higher than a couple of meters tall, unless you build a second story on your house." And so everybody where I come from is surrounded by water. So water is a central part of our lives in the Bahamas. So we had to have water, had to come into the theme. So the first element of the theme is a wave. So if we look at, you can look at it on the cards at your place as well. So the first element is a wave. And he said there's a wave because the ocean is powerful. The ocean is a force of nature, and it surrounds the world. And he said, you know what? Rotary is the same. Rotary is powerful. Rotary is a force, and it's everywhere in the world. And the second element in the theme, if you look right in the center, is a heart. So there's a heart at the center of everything that Rotary does. And I thought that was kind of neat. I actually didn't see it until he pointed it out to me, which is funny for someone who spent their entire life doing cardiac research. But from my perspective, they don't look like that. But there's a heart at the center of everything that Rotary does. And the third element in the theme is if you're out on the bay and you're on a sailboat and the wind is really light, when you're out there you see everybody's got their spinnaker out. So the spinnaker is that sail out in the front of the boat that picks up the really light wind. Right? So it's out in front leading. And he said, and that's the third element. There's a sail out in front because Rotary is out in front leading the way in the world of service and making the world a better place. So he built the theme around those three elements. The wave and the power of Rotary, force of nature everywhere, a heart at the center, and being out in front leading the way. And I was just so grateful to have him explain it that way. I'm just like, there's a theme, I can really work with that. And I can't wait to get out and share it with people. So it's the first thing we talk about when we get together with all of the clubs in the district. So we have 47 clubs in the district. We go from Petaluma to the Oregon border. We have close to 2,500 Rotarians, and everybody's going to hear about how this theme came to be. I think it makes it just a lot more rich when you understand kind of all of those elements. So staying with this theme of inspiration, I want us to do something together this morning. So we put out cards. Everybody's got a card at their place. Everybody's got pens. Everybody got a pen? You got a pen? So what we're going to do is we're going to answer 4 questions together. Everybody got it? Don't forget to do this the other night. We did it with the Rotary actors the other night. We're going to answer 4. Did you see what I just did? We're going to answer 4 questions. And you're taping it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Do you want me to edit that
Can you
out?
help me, Howard? 4 questions. Exactly. We're going to go like
Barb,
face 8.
I can edit that out and we can do take 2.
Take 20 seconds.
Take 2.
4 questions. All right, the first question on your card, please. I want you to think about someone who has inspired you. Think about someone who has inspired. We've all had lots of people inspire us. Think of one of those people and write down that person's name on this card, please. And the second question is, what specifically did that person say or do that meant so much to you? What did they say or do? And then the third question is, how did that inspiration change your life? How did that change you, being inspired by that person? How did it change you? And then the fourth question is, going forward, what are some of the things that you can do, maybe through Rotary, to honor that person's contribution to you? What can you do through Rotary to honor that person? All right, so when we look at our cards, it's kind of, when you look down and you see that person's name, it's kind of nice to see that person's name in print, isn't it? Nice to think about the folks who have inspired us. So I'll share with you what's on my card. So the answer to the first question on my card is a gentleman by the name of Tom Glenn. And I call him Daddy. Right? So my dad is my inspiration. Right? And what did he do? My dad was always there for me. My dad used to say to me, and he's the only person in the world who's ever been allowed to call me Barbie. Right? Do I look like a Barbie? I'm not a Barbie. Right? You don't do statistics and be Barbie. So, but my dad always called me Barbie baby. And my dad used to say, "You can do it, Barbie baby. I know you can." My dad said that to me from the time I was a little kid learning to ride a bike, right? Or when I was going out for the basketball team at high school, right, or college. Or I was going to, shall I take that job? Shall I go to Paris? Should I go live in Paris for a year and do that job? My dad was always, "You can do it, Barbie baby. I know you can." And so it was a great gift from him in my life. And he said it to me for my entire life. And he had one other thing that my dad always said that was great. My dad always used to say, "It's nice to be nice." My dad led with nice. He was always the nicest person in the room, and he just believed the best in everybody. And people responded to that in ways. I watched that work in so many times, in so many circumstances, in so many places. It was amazing to watch how it's nice to be nice is a great way to start any conversation, anything you do, anything when you meet people. It's great. So Daddy would always say, you can do it. I know you can. And it's nice to be nice. So what are the results? What are the results of that on me? Well, I'm basically fearless about trying new things. I go, yeah, I'll try it. Why not? You know, some things I'm good at, some things I'm not. I don't fly airplanes anymore. You know, but I do have my pilot's license. You know, you throw your pink body up in the sky, and you think, all right, the only thing between me and catastrophe is my skill set. Right? So you do that. I don't fly anymore. I don't ride a motorcycle anymore, but I have those licenses. I walk into cardiac surgeries that don't faint, and that's a good thing. So my dad got me. You know, you get to do a lot of things when someone's telling you can do it. If you believe you can do it, you get to do a lot of different things. The other thing I do is I encourage other people, because I know how much fun it is to go learn new things, and how exciting it is to add a skill set to whatever skill sets we've got. It's great to be able to learn stuff, and it's fun. So I always encourage people to learn and do and try stuff. And the other thing is I look for the best in people, because why not? You know, it's in there somewhere for some people, right? It's in there somewhere. Go get it. Go find it, because it's there. It's at the heart. It's at the center, right? And then going forward, how do I honor my dad? Well, this message is being said at every Rotary meeting I'm at this year. Right? And so we have 47 clubs. We have 2,500 Rotarians, and everybody's going to get to meet my dad. And that's about as good as I get. I tell my brothers, I can't believe what I'm doing with the Rotary clubs. This is really, really great. Everybody's getting that orientation around Dad. So it's really, really good. I share that enthusiasm. I talk about opportunities, right? And we do what matters. So everybody's got an inspiration story, and it makes us feel good, and it helps us kind of move forward. So who would like to talk about who's on their club? Yes, Steve.
You know, being in business, I often would want to learn more about being in business and how to be a better leader. And there's a ton of books out there, right? You know, you go to the airport, at which I travel a lot, and you always stop at the bookstore and you get something. And I got a lot of books on CD from the library because I would drive a lot. And I got one from one guy who's a motivational speaker, Zig Ziglar. Somebody knows Zig Ziglar. His name, of course, is really intriguing, so I'm not listening to him. But he had one quote, and it's usually if I read a book on business or listen to a CD and I get one kernel out of the whole book, it's totally worth it. And that's all I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be a great book. And one quote of his that I remember and I like to live by, he says, "You can get anything you want in life as long as you help enough other people get what they want." Which seems so counterintuitive, because isn't it every time isn't it about me trying to gather what I want, and his whole theme was, no, you find out what other people want, you help them get it, and the net result is you end up with what you want. And that's really what Rotary is about, right? We're here to help other people, and for us, it's like the payback, right? We're here because the fellowship, and we know we're doing good work in the world, and if we're going out and trying to help enough other people get what they want in the world and what they need, our rewards come naturally, and we don't have to fight for them. And so we live in a world of abundance, and if we share that with our talents and our resources, everything will come back that we're ever going to need ourselves.
Absolutely. That's great. Thank you. Anybody else?
Nobody's going to want to follow that.
It's a beautiful one. That was a beautiful one. But we've got inspiration in every seat in the house. So everybody's got a car. How many people have parents on their cars? Yeah, parents are important. How many people have siblings?
This club consists of
Darn it,
the
I have to
eldest
say,
born in
you
all
know,
families.
there's a pattern, there's a pattern. You know, we don't see a heck of a lot. We see some, but we don't see a heck of a lot. How many people have coworkers? Yeah, they're big in our lives too. Right. So there's our cards. We've got our inspiration. What we can do is, you know, we can take these home and just stick it up on the wall in your office. And if you're having a bad day, something sort of aggravates you, you can always go over there and go, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with Daddy or Zig or whoever is on your card and make yourself feel better. The other thing you could do, and there was intentionality around this. So these cards were made so that they fit in a number 10 envelope. Right. So one thing you could do with them, depending on who's on your card, is you could take a Post-it, a little yellow Post-it. You can take a Post-it. You can say, "Thank you, I love you." Stick it on there. Stick it in a number 10 envelope. You know, mail it to them. How cool would it be if that person's still with us, right? How cool would it be to send that to them? This card, when we're done with it, I'm gonna put a little sticky on it. I'm gonna send it to my youngest brother. I'm gonna say, talked about Daddy for like 6 months. Right? And he will really enjoy that. We're finding, you know, when we have these conversations, and people are sharing, we're having some amazing experiences. We had an amazing experience the other night, right, Sophie? It was so powerful. We were here with the Rotary actors, and when we did this with you know, a small group, it was magnificent what somebody shared with us, wasn't it? It was really powerful. So that's what we wanted to share a little bit, is sharing the inspiration. So the other thing we want to do is, when we talk about inspiration, it's great to be inspired. But as Rotarians, we want to take that inspiration and we want to turn it around into action. So our district theme this year is do what matters. Right? So from the district perspective and the governor perspective, I don't have a project that I'm going to give to the clubs and say, go do this because I'm the governor and this is what I want you to do this year. I believe that every club in this district is an inspiration to the community you're in, and you already know how to do what matters. Not only do you know how to do what matters, you know what it is that matters. So in this community, the Rotary Club is the central part of the community, and you're doing these things. I heard about some of them last night with the house that you're working on, as well as some other projects. You already know what matters in the community, and you're doing it. So thank you. Because we're all in this together. We're all part of this as a team, and it's important. The other thing I wanted to talk about is everybody's got a little save the date card. So this is our district conference next year. It's the Rotary 4-Way Fest. It's going to be in Reno, the third weekend in May, the weekend before Memorial Day. So you can make like a total party out of it and stay up there for the week. We're going to do a long weekend up there. So we're going to do it with 4 districts this year. We've got ours. We have the district to our immediate south, which is 5150. That's the Marin County, San Francisco, and San Mateo. And then we have the third group is 5160, which is adjacent to us. They run like parallel to us. And the fourth is Reno itself. So the 4 districts are going to converge, and we're basically going to take over the Peppermill for a weekend. We've got a golf tournament scheduled for the day before, so if there are golfers, it's at a really cool golf course in the Reno area. We're going to have a walk to end polio, so we're going to walk around the lake. We're going to walk around the little lake in Reno, not the big blue lake. That other one, it takes a long time. We'd have to start now to finish now. We're going to be doing service projects. We'll have breakout sessions. There's something that's kind of fun about doing a district conference where you get a bunch of districts together, is you get to find out what other people usually do with theirs. And we're going, yeah, let's do that. We'll pull this in. We'll pull this in. So 5150 swears to us that karaoke for polio is fun. I'm like, really? So you can do one of two things. You can pay $50 to sing a song, or you can pay $1,000 and I'll stop singing. It's gonna look good. That $1,000 will be the best $1,000 you ever spent. Right? There'll be a poker tournament. We've got entertainment. We have Dave Trevecki, the baseball player, former Giants baseball player. He's going to be our speaker on Friday night. He's supposed to be a great speaker. We have Mike McGuire is going to be speaking on Saturday at lunchtime. We have a couple of really interesting short speakers coming in as well. And that's kind of the beauty of doing a bigger conference, is that you draw on everybody's contacts. Right? So it's going to be really fun. Ron Burton is a past RI president and chair of the Rotary Foundation. Will be there, and that's kind of an honor. So the code for the discount on the hotel rooms is on the back. So you just the phone-in number and the promo code, and then the sign up for the district will be coming out on the website shortly. So everybody's invited. We're gonna have fun, lots and lots of fun, and hope to see you there. It'll be good.
This is one of the best hotels in Reno, you guys, and you know how often I go to Reno. It is plush. It is absolutely one of the best.
It's got a 3-story, the spa, for if you're a spa person at all. You know, it's got the biggest, I don't know, what is it, 150,000 square feet of spa, 3-story size, kind of thing. And there's a nightclub on site. It's a big party place. It's good. We'll have fun. So there's your personal invitation. And I'm hoping to see you there. So the next thing I want to spend, I know we want to finish up about 8. So I want to open up, anybody have any questions for me? We can play Stump the Governor. When we were doing the river rafting trip with the youth exchange students, we did that in Willow Creek last month. You know, I went on that. We got out on the river, and I was in the first boat with the lead one, and then Ian was in the back boat, right? We had all the kids in the boats in the middle. So the conversation with the lead guide is, she said to me, "You're the district governor, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "So I'm assuming you don't want to get wet." And I'm like, "That's a really good assumption." Don't want to get wet.
Can you tell us where we're at with Rotary Peace Scholars, and do they still do ambassadorial scholars? Those are things, they're district programs, and we haven't heard about them for a long time.
Okay, so
Heard much about them.
Right. So the peace program, our district is pretty involved in the Peace Fellows program. So the Peace Fellows, they are looking to actually increase the number of Peace Fellows, because peace is a huge focus in Rotary.
So it's a selection and an investment.
A selection and an investment, yeah.
So how many would we do? What do we invest?
Well, we do 50 a year right now.
Well, not us.
No, not but our district, we have Lily Goodman Freitas from down in the Petaluma area is our district chair of the Peace Fellows program. So what Lily does is she gets all of the applications from people who would like to be Peace Fellows from around the world. And what we do is in the spring, we do the interviews with those individuals. We Skype with them from wherever they are. And I got to participate in it last year. I was on the panel last year. It is amazing to listen to the stories of people from parts of the world where violence is a daily component of their lives. So we interview those folks, and then the team kind of talks about them, and then we recommend that to Rotary that they move forward in the selection process. Right? So that's our level of engagement right now. We actually have someone named Drew Foxman, he's based in San Francisco, and he went to the short version in Thailand, and he's just come back, and he's actually available as a speaker in the district if you'd like to have him come. He's a pretty spectacular young man.
How long is that experience?
For the program, for the Peace Fellows, if you're selected as a Rotary Peace Fellow, there are 5 universities around the world with master's degrees program in peace and conflict resolution. So if you're selected to be a Peace Fellow, you are, go on scholarship for 2 years, full scholarship to one of those 5 universities as a Peace Fellow. That's the long program. The long program is a 2-year program. The short program is run at a university in Thailand, and it's a 3 to 4 month program. So it's a little bit easier to get people into the program in Thailand than it is to the full 2-year programs.
The ambassadorials, did they drop that, or they don't not do that
You
anymore?
know what, I don't know that much about the ambassadorial side of it. I'm more familiar with the Peace Fellows because I've participated in it. But I don't know that much, but we can find that out for you for sure.
Well, no, we did it for a long time, and there was, we had squid, people come back, stories and all that, but it was a big investment. I mean, we were investing, somebody, and I mean, it just transitioned, the effort may have transitioned to Peace Scholar, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they've transitioned to Peace Scholars, but I'm not absolutely sure, but we can find out. It's the Peace program the Peace Fellows program is amazing. And Rotary is also, if you're interested in learning about the Rotary involvement in peace, I can send Ray a link to a peace learning center. The Institute for Economics and Peace has just partnered with Rotary about a series of online trainings on peace and conflict resolution, and I started doing these modules, and they're fantastic. They're really, really good. So I want to do one last thing. It involves Ray coming over here. Please. So when you're a club president, you get to meet the governor a few times before you take over. One of the times you do that is at pre-PETS. It's pre-training or pre-learning for president-elect training. So when we got all of the presidents elected together last winter, we got a session in the South and a session in the North. Everybody sat around tables like this, and I asked all of the presidents-elect to stand up, introduce yourself to your peers, right? What club are you from? And then I said, give me one word to describe the Rotary experience. Right? We had a flip chart, and we captured everybody's words. So we had 47 clubs, we had 47 words. So I took all of the words, and I went to Tom Boylan, who is a Rotarian down south, and I said, make me something with our president's words for this year. So we had him build us a District 5130 Rotary words cloud. This is from our presidents this year. Some of the words are life-changing, exciting, invigorating, compassion, understanding, unique. Somebody said work, friendship, camaraderie, meaningful, family. So these are our District 5130 words. So I've got this for Ray, and I've got a little note. I'm big on notes, so I've got a note for Ray. It says September 21st, 2018, Ray Noggle, President, Rotary Club of Arcata, Sunrise. And then it says, thanks for, first of all, choosing to lead. So leadership is a choice, it's not a position. Every time we lead, it's because we've chosen to do so. Thank you for choosing to lead. Thank you for doing what matters. And thank you for being an inspiration. Enjoy every minute of this year.
We can keep that there. That'll look good. So, on that note, thank you for being our speaker. So we made a donation to the Wheelchair Foundation in your name.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
So,
guys.
thank you for being the inspiration. So, excellent.
Have a good rest of your year.